shoulder mobilizations. Take a broomstick and run it past your body all the way down to your buttocks, your glutes, and across in front of your hips as well. Do about 20 each side to start with. You can build that up over time. Happy to build it up over time. And rotate the other way, please now, Caroline. That's it, both directions. Both directions, super. And pause. Caroline is doing a single leg deadlift, stabilizing her ankle, her knee and her hip. Best to do these with no shoes on. Make sure your foot is fully engaged with the floor. Beautiful work, nicely done. Keep the broomstick nice and close to your shin as you go down, and keep your knee above your toe. Don't let it sag inside. Super. Exercise you can do at home or in the office, but I recommend you do it daily. It's called the one-legged get up. Caroline's going to favor one leg, I don't mind which one, but she's going to attempt to get out of her chair using one leg only. Super, and then sit back in a controlled manner. Try the other leg. Super, and sit back in a controlled manner. Do it once more for me, but this time push your hips through on completion, please. Okay, off you go. Up, and the hips come right through to complete, and control it back down. And the other leg, just to prove you're not one-legged. Super, and back down. Lovely job. Now, while Caroline congratulates herself on her job well done, I'm just going to point out that if you can do this at the age of 50, you'll be absolutely fine into old age, but you need to keep practicing. If you can't do this at 50, you're likely to be on a stick in your early 70s. So our advice is practice daily. It's a great move. It'll keep you strong. It'll keep you balanced, because all of the stabilizing muscles of the hips, the knees and the ankles are being trained at the same time as giving you a nice firm bottom. So here Caroline is doing a hold, time under tension for the muscles of her back. A little higher with the hands, a little higher with the feet, please, good. And the advanced version of this is little pulses, please, little pulses up, up, feet 2, please. Good, now we're talking. That's the advanced version. Caroline's beginning to feel it. She's been working out for about an hour and 10 minutes so far, so that's enough. Thank you. And here again, Caroline with her feet 6 inches off the floor. She's lifting her shoulders off the mat. She's engaged with the whole of the lower back. Very tough little hold, this. Start with 5 seconds and then relax, Caroline. Down to the ground, please. Relax, relax, relax. And again, please. Up you go. Good. And hold it, hold it, hold it. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. And we'll go once more for 5 seconds. Up. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Well done. If it's too hard, putting your hands above your head, you can always put your hands beside your sides. Make sure that your tummy button is pushed towards the mat, and then lift your legs 6 inches off the floor and go for that hold. And hold it initially for 5 seconds at a time. And when you get more advanced and your abs are slightly more engaged and your core is more engaged and the iliopsoas inside your hips are engaged, then you can go for longer, as Caroline is here, and down. Well done, Caroline. That's the trouble with having somebody talking, rabbiting on while you're doing the exercise. I'm so sorry, girl. Keep going. So, Caroline is now going to do a squat. A squat is not an easy move, but it is a very natural move. She's extended her hands out in front of her, parallel to the ground. She keeps her eye line above her hands, and now she's going to sit slightly backwards as if sitting down on a chair, keeping her knees over her feet and her toes. She's going to continue down as far as she is comfortable, but not let her bottom sink under, all the way until she's comfortable. That is super. And drive back up through your heels, please, into the upright position. Good. With a side view, Caroline has extended her hands out parallel to the floor. She's looking above her hands. She's going to keep them out for balance. Now she's going to sit backwards as if sitting onto a chair, keeping her back nice and flat. And then she's going to let her hips sink even deeper if she can, but her bottom is not going to tuck under. That is a super squat, lovely position. In many countries of the world, adults can do this for all of their lives, but the Western situation means that most people are uncomfortable in this position. Now this is an advanced squat. We're going to ask her now to just move a little over her ankles. This will increase her range of motion, the flexion of her ankles. Now this is something that will stop many of you from doing the squat. She's dropping her knees in deliberately and in a controlled manner to exercise her hip mobility and her ankle mobility. And all the while she's keeping her hands out and looking up and keeping control. Now she's going to drive back through the heels and take herself back up into a full standing position. That was great, Caroline. Just to remind people, the reason we need to squat is to mobilize our posterior chain, a posterior chain that is immobilized by sitting in the car, sitting in front of your computer, sitting in front of the television, eating your meals. All of that makes us weak behind, and in the long run will mean that you cannot get out of your chair when you get old. Now folks, you haven't done this since you were 12 years old. We're going to do a forward roll, alias, in the old speak, a somersault. Now the safe way to do this is a full tuck. So Caroline's going to start, and this is her first one with a full squat, and then bring her hands nice and close to her feet, fingers pointing in the direction she's going to roll. Then she's going to tuck her head right under. It's her first one for 40 years. Tuck your head right under, and she's done it. Brilliant. You're still on video. You're still,
That's so scary though.
because you're going upside down for the first time. Now go back and do it again. Same again, please. Full tuck. Tuck your head right under. Get nice and close on your heels. That's it. Tuck your head right under. Then push forward, push forward, push forward, and roll. Super. Let's go for the third one. Was that as scary the second time? Not as scary the second. And again, please. Tuck your head right under. The head tuck is the most important thing. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Very good. Okay, now you're going to do it slightly faster for the fourth roll and try and...
A little bit dizzy.
You're dizzy, okay. You're going to try to go over and stand up in one move. So over, and stand up. Good. And again. The more you do it, the easier it gets. And stand. Good. So while we're on a roll, so to say, Caroline's going to try a shoulder roll, which is actually easier than the forward roll of a somersault. Off you go, tuck your elbow under, roll over your shoulder, good, and stand up.
That's different.
It's different. Do it again.
What is the benefit of a shoulder roll?
The benefit of all these rolls is as you get older, you will be less forgiving to yourself when you fall. If you know how to roll, you'll never break anything. Good, excellent.
Like a monkey.
It's a bit like a monkey.
Monkeys roll over the shoulders.
They roll all over the place. Now, try it off the other shoulder, your less favored shoulder. Tuck the left arm in, that's it, and roll. So much fun, brilliant.
So that's a bad side, obviously.
So you need to practice on both sides equally, and they will balance out by themselves.
So the aim is if you fall, to go for the shoulder rather than the hand.
Absolutely. If you fall with your hands out in front of you, you will break something. Normally your collarbone, or your wrists, or your arm. And as we get older, knowing how to roll will stop you from having that awful break in the upper arm or the collarbone. So rolling is important practice, but do it on a mat or a carpet at home. Very good. And the tuck of the head is all important. Remember, a horse never breaks its neck when it falls unless it sticks its chin out. So you have to bring your head under, get your chin into your chest, and roll the natural way that you were doing as a child. We can still be children. Observe Caroline today, child. So Caroline has interlinked her fingers, not for pressure, just for stability, and put the back of her head into the cup of her hands. She's got her elbows at 45 degrees from her head, and she's put her bottom above that triangle on the floor. And she's now nice and straight. Now this is the bit she struggles with. She's going to straighten her legs. Now she knows how to roll. She can always tuck her head under and roll out of this if she feels like it. It's a super position, a lovely straight back. Absolutely ramrod straight. Keep going up now. Be brave. Push your feet up as far as you are comfortable. Keep pushing, you will not fall over. You're nicely over the triangle of your head and your elbows, and most of the weight, 70% of the weight, is being transferred through her elbows. She's going to push up, if she's brave enough, into the full headstand with no support around her, and that's what's stopping her. It's a mental blockage. She doesn't trust herself. Now she's going to take a deep breath and trust herself and straighten her legs. She's making little mewling noises, which is her way of saying she's very, very uncomfortable. And she's not uncomfortable physically, but mentally. So Caroline's going again. Her last words were, "This is totally in my head. I am so scared of falling." You need to be brave. So she knows she can do it. She's done it before. That's why we've learned the forward roll, because it's safe and she now knows how to forward roll and she won't hurt herself because she can tuck her head under. Awesome demonstration of how to bail out. And now you've done it, you can do it again. Well done, Caroline. Excellent demonstration of the escape mechanism from the handstand or the headstand.
Why am I trying to stand on my head? In what world?
Elbows, elbows. You're standing on your elbows, the head is just a little bit of stability.
Why? Why would anyone even try to do that? We have feet.
Because you know it's fun. Next we're going to do a little bit of a stretch, and this one is going to be the lower core. So arms out sideways please, Caroline, very good. And then bring your legs up into tabletop and very gently, slowly, keeping your shoulders flat to the floor, tip over towards me so that your knees come towards the floor. Gently, 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 keeping the shoulders down. If you can comfortably come all the way to the floor, that's great. Now turn your head away from me, that's it, and you've got a full twist through the thoracic spine. That's perfect. And take yourself back up and the other way, nice and gently. Control, control, control. Only go as far as is comfortable. If you can put your feet on the floor, fine, and then look the other way. And if you can smile like Caroline, that's a great trick because it makes you stronger. Smiling always is good for you. And there is science behind that. Science behind the release of oxytocin that happiness gives you and that brings happiness. Thanks for blowing me a kiss, or are you blowing a kiss to everybody on the video? Thank you.